Hello, welcome to Math 646. My name is Jen Whitfield and I will be your instructor for this semester. What I'd like to do for the next 10 minutes or so is give you a little bit of a tour of eCampus so that you will know where to go, you know some of the features that we've set up in this course to try and design it so that it's a good learning environment for you. So the first thing I'll want to do is go to ecampus.tammy.edu. You'll see a screen very similar to this. You click on Login, and it will give you a prompt to put in your net ID and your password. So you would put in your net ID and password, and something similar to this should show up. I've got more classes in here than what you probably do, but you'll want to find the link to 16 Spring Math 646 survey math problems. So you can click on that link, and that enters you into the course. And this will always be the landing page of the course. And I'll real quick go into the student view so that I can get rid of some of the administrative parts here, and the screen maybe is not so overwhelming for you. But we will always have the landing page be the announcements page, and I will use this announcements section down here as a way to communicate with you on a fairly regular basis. So the landing page, or the page that you will come to each time you open eCampus, will be this announcements page. You can see over here the left navigation panel will remain about the same throughout the course. You will just see down here in the weekly assignments section that each week I will add in a new assignment for you. So you will see this start to get longer and longer as the semester progresses. But what I'd like to do real quick is start with the start here. This is where I obviously want you to start. And we want to look at the class syllabus. I want to highlight a few things on this syllabus for you just to make sure that we again are on the same page, and that if there's any questions, maybe this will clear it up, or if you have questions that are generated from this video, then you can email me and we'll get those questions answered. So first of all, this is obviously an online class. I think all of you know that in signing up for it, and you're part of our online master's program. So I don't find this to be a surprise to you at all. Here is a contact information. This is for my office right now, but really the best way to get a hold of me is through email. And this is my email address, and you'll notice that it is the I and the E and field are not in my username, so it's jwhitfold. There are two main text sources in this course. The first one right here is a free download from Dr. Geller's website. It's my understanding that you guys used this student guide for 645. So we will just go ahead and continue using this student guide for 646. And the plan is to do chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12, I believe. We will look as the tentative schedule as we scroll down this syllabus. The second textbook, if you will, is the e-course pack for Math 646. You can go to this link right here to get that e-course packet from Copy Corner. If you have any questions or issues in receiving that, please let me know, and we'll try to get it resolved as quickly as possible. This is a 15-week asynchronous online course, so we will try to keep it as asynchronous as possible. Trying to get all of you together on a certain day and time is a little bit problematic. We're in different time zones and we're running different schedules, so we'll keep it as asynchronous as possible. eCampus is going to be the primary venue for lectures, discussions, assignments, quizzes, and any collaboration that we have. You will need to participate in discussions and submit all assignments and projects through eCampus, and I'll show you where that is here in just a little bit. If you need some more help in navigating eCampus, this is a great resource for you right here, this eCampus student help link. The first day of course is today, January 19th. The online week will always reset on Mondays at 8 a.m. So I think most of us are working people, so I figured Mondays at 8 a.m. that would give you all of the weekend to finish up an assignment, and then the majority of the week to kind of start working on the assignment. So every Monday at 8 a.m. that will kind of reset our new online week. All your grades are going to be posted in Howdy at the end of the course, but for your individual grades on assignments, you will find them in eCampus, and we will post, as soon as we get an assignment graded, that grade will go into the eCampus gradebook, and you will be able to view that fairly immediately. I've asked the grader to have a 1-week turnaround on all of your assignments. So if it's due at 8 a.m. Monday, then we could expect the grade to be in there by the following Monday at 8 a.m., if not sooner. We're hoping for a quicker turnaround, but we'll give her at least a week. At most a week. You are expected to follow the course outline and engage and participate in activities that are outlined in each of the weekly lessons that are posted on eCampus. I will pace the class, meaning that there will be weekly assignments, and so I expect you to keep up with the pace of the class. Follow the course outline and then complete any necessary reading assignments that are posted by the particular due dates. Anything that is posted, the times are always going to be in Central Standard Time. So I know not all of us are in the Central Standard Time zone, but 8 a.m. is going to run, the 8 a.m. due date anyway is going to run on the Central Time Zone, and any other times that are announced, it is assumed to be in Central Time Zone. There are several ways you can communicate with your fellow classmates and myself. For me, email is the best way to contact me on an individual basis. I'm very accessible via email at this at this email address here. I'll do my best to respond to you within 24 hours of the email. My hope is I can get to you sooner. I do tend to email pretty good, but I do have 2 kids and a family life, and that starts at 5 o'clock. So I'll be pretty good about answering, hopefully, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., it's a little bit difficult just because of my personal life, but I will try to do the best that I can for you. And similarly on the weekends, I should be able to check email like Saturday, Sunday mornings and get a response to you so that you can continue working. I realize that that's going to be when most of you are doing your work, is on the weekends. If we look down here at this virtual office hours, so throughout the semester, I would like to be available via Blackboard Collaborate, which is housed within eCampus. I'd like to be able to be available for you online, where you could just log onto the website and you and I can have a virtual conversation, or whoever else logs onto the site at that point. And we could have kind of like virtual office hours at that point. So I'll let you know more about that as the semester progresses. I don't think we can set on an exact day and time every day. It'll probably have to go on a weekly basis as to when I would have those virtual office hours. I am also available for phone appointments, so you can contact me and we can make an appointment to discuss things over the telephone. And then there is a discussion forum in eCampus that I've titled Hello Classmates, I Need Help. And in this forum, I'm expecting you to post any questions that you have about clarifications. Maybe you don't understand an assignment. Maybe I've emailed something and it's the wrong information and you need clarification. So really that would be, if you know that I'm not going to respond to you in a timely manner, like you need this turned around in like an hour, I would go ahead and post something on the Help Classmates I Need Help discussion forum and see if one of your classmates can answer the question for you. Now, I do plan to have you guys work in groups, so as far as discussing your exercises, your assignments, the problems, the readings, all of those types of things, I would like for those discussions to stay within the small groups that I have you in, of 4 or 5, and that way you get to know each other. You get to build a little bit more community if you're working in smaller groups instead of having just one large discussion board for the whole class to talk about any exercises or problems or anything like that. So if it's pertaining to the content and the exercises and the problems and the readings that are due in a particular week, then I would expect you to discuss those within the small groups that I have signed up for you, or that I have you signed up for. But this discussion forum, Hello Classmates, I Need Help, that would be for any general thing. Or maybe you've got a question about the final project or the midterm project, something of that nature. It would be appropriate to put it on that particular discussion forum. All right, let's scroll down here. So net etiquette is really important when we're taking an online course. It is very important that you respond and participate in a very respectful way that is consistent with good academic practice. So I would like for you to look at the link here and follow that net etiquette that is described on that link. Just keep in mind, when you're working in an online course, that there may be typos, we all might not be able to be perfect. The means of communication is a little bit different than when we're dealing with it face-to-face. So please visit that site and follow the guidelines there at that link. Regular interaction, as far as guidelines for online class participation, it is strongly encouraged. What I've found in online courses is if you can just log on once or twice a day and see if there's any activity, it keeps you more connected with the course. So though it's not going to be required, and I'm not going to say you have to do 3 or 4 or 5 posts for a grade, it really is the only way that you're going to stay connected with the class. I think in mathematics, learning what other classmates know about mathematics and how they think about the mathematics is a very valuable aspect in the learning process. So I think logging in, seeing if any of your classmates or any of your group, the small groups that I have you set in, if any of those people have questions, answering those is a good way for you to learn when you're verbalizing the mathematics that you know, and then also to listen or see the verbalization, somebody else talk to you about the mathematics. So I do think that regular interaction online is very important. Your grading policy is laid out here. 60% of your grade will be determined by exercises and problems, 20% will be determined by the midterm project, and 20% by the final term paper. I have a little bit in eCampus right now about the midterm and the final term paper. We'll look at that here in a little bit when we actually log on to eCampus, or when I get back into the regular setting rather. So I'm going to leave that right now, and we'll come back to the grades and what's expected of you in the exercise and problems midterm and final paper. The grading scale is over here. So if you get between 90 and 100, it's an A. It's a pretty standard scale. 80 to 90 is a B, 70 to 80 C, 60 to 70 would be a D. So that is the grading policy. I would invite you to read through the learning outcomes. I would invite you to read through the written work section. On the written work, I do want to point out that it is expected that you use proper English, grammar, punctuation, and spelling. I do want to tell you that I expect in emails like a non-text type of writing. So by that I mean using the letter U to denote the word Y-O-U. So I do expect regular English and not text English, if you will, in any form of communication that we're doing. There is some technical requirements and support, so please read through this, especially if you're having some sort of computer problems. I don't suspect that it's going to be too bad for you guys, because you really just need internet access and then a dependable computer in order to participate in this class. All right, here is the tentative class schedule, and some of you noticed that when I posted an earlier version of this, I was actually missing a week in here. So this is an updated version. It gives you the topics within that student packet that is available on Dr. Geller's website. This gives you the section of that, when we will cover it, the readings that correlate. So you had that reading packet that was from Copy Corner. These are the readings that correlate with each week. And then these are the assignments, the exercises and problems that are due each week that correspond with it. You'll notice right here, the week of February 22nd, I've given you to work on your midterm project. And that is because you're going to have to turn your midterm project into a partner for them to actually review and give you suggestions before you turn it into me for your final submission on that particular project. So I've tried to give you some time ahead where you've got a week to work on it before you actually submit it to your partner. And again, we'll talk more about that when I get back into eCampus. So you can look through here. This is tentatively what we're going to do. I hope to stick to this pretty good, but the word tentative is there just in case we need to make any major or minor adjustments rather. All right, then I would invite you to also read through the attendance policy, the late work policy, the makeup policy, and then all the statements on scholastic dishonesty, academic integrity, America with Disabilities, the ADA Act, and then the copyright policy. So I think that's it for the syllabus that I needed to cover. So let's go back into eCampus.